From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Thursday morning. We're still tracking two fires within the area. The Tiger Creek fire, which is still at 89% contained, then the Williams Mine fire, which is still at 42% contained. So that's all we have to say about those fires for right now. Temperatures this morning are chillier compared to yesterday morning, although we're in a little bit of a bubble in the Tri-Cities. 51 here. 40s, low to mid 40s in the foothills of the Blues, and then 30s already in the Yakima and Kittitas Valley. So you would probably want a heavier jacket out that way. Maybe a light jacket would suffice for the basin and for the foothills. But when you combine the temperatures with some of these wind gusts, it'll feel a little bit cooler out there as winds at time are gusting between 20 to 25 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities and in Hermiston. And we're also seeing some blustery conditions within the foothills. So for today, we'll have leftover showers. It's not going to be a washout. And then in the wake of today, it's going to be pretty cold for tonight. Freezing lows are possible. In fact, we have freeze watches posted for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, also for the foothills of the Blues in Umatilla County. I'll tell you just how cold it's going to be for tonight coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, the wreckage site of the Navy fighter jet that crashed in Yakima County has been found. We have the update. Plus, it's the 80th anniversary of the B Reactor National Historic Landmark, but the site will be closing for the next few years when you can catch a tour before they close. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Thursday, October 17th. Happy Thursday. We're going to start this morning off in continuing coverage on the Navy jet that crashed near Mount Rainier on Tuesday. We're learning that aerial search crews have located the wreckage of the site, but it's not accessible by vehicle. However, multiple search and rescue teams are trying to get to the crash site and find the two missing crew members. Eric Wilkinson has more.
It's a community that proudly wraps itself in the American flag as defenders of the sea and sky. That sound, known around Oak Harbor as the sound of freedom, fills the air on a daily basis. Navy jets training for missions to come.
People take things for granted when they see the planes flying. And when something like this happens, it puts a mark on in your mind.
Roy Daniels is a retired aviation maintenance technician from NAS Whidbey. He knows the dangers the crews in those jets face intimately.
I can see the pilot's face before he climbs into the aircraft. I can hear his last words, before he climbs in there.
The missing crew was part of the VAQ-130 Electronic Attack Squadron, known as the Zappers. They just returned to Washington in July after a 9-month deployment protecting international shipping lanes from Iranian-backed Houthi terrorists. They flew more than 700 missions and returned to loving families, patiently awaiting them here at home.
Daddy's finally gonna come home.
When there's no sign or you don't hear from anybody for 24 hours, it's not good.
Even with things looking grim, retired Lieutenant Commander Howard Gully, who flew for 60 years in the Navy, warns us all not to jump to conclusions about what's happened to those two still unidentified crew members. And he says no matter what happens, the families of those aviators will be well supported.
Everybody else will chime in and help that family out the best they can. And they're not forgotten.
So we're meeting for breakfast on Friday still?
Yes.
Roy Daniels among those willing to do all he can.
Try to take their hurt away from them. I wish I could do that.
The cause of the crash is still under investigation, and we'll bring you more updates when we learn more. Turning to a health alert this morning, the Washington State Department of Agriculture says an outbreak of bird flu was found in Pasco. It was found at commercial poultry operations within a 6-mile radius around Oakdale Farms on North Glade Road. Officials say the virus is highly contagious and can spread quickly in poultry. It causes severe illness or can cause death to infected birds. We're told other birds were lethargic and showing other symptoms of illness late last week.
It's here. It's in the environment. And so if you have those chickens in your backyard, make sure that you're adhering to that biosecurity protocol. You're going into stores and you're buying eggs and you're buying chicken. You need to know that because of the protocol and the quick action by the producers and by our state partners, is that none of the infected birds make it into the food supply.
An investigation is ongoing. Officials say if you have multiple birds with unusual illness or multiple dead birds, you are to call WSDA's Sick Bird Hotline. That number is 1-800-606-3056. Now, it's the 80th anniversary of the Bee Reactor National Historic Landmark, which is part of the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. It was designated a national landmark in 2008. The reactor played a pivotal role in world history, marking the beginning of the atomic age. The Bee Reactor was the first full-scale plutonium production reactor, and this is the last month to get on a Bee Reactor tour before the site closes for construction for the next few years. In community event news, the Richland Police Department is giving the community a way to give back to the most vulnerable population, which is the youth. RPD is collecting socks for Socktober throughout the month, and it's also collecting other items. You can donate things like underwear and pull-ups for younger children in the size range 4T through 6T. All donations will be going to support the Early Learning Center in the Richland School District. This donation was in partnership with the school district, and RPD is saying no donation is too small.
Considering if you have kiddos of your own and maybe they're out of a size, they've grown out of something, if you have a sealed package, bring it by the PD front lobby, bring it by the City Hall and donate it. If you have extra funds, I know this time of year is hard with the holidays coming up, but if you have the extra funds, consider buying a sealed package of any of those items and then bringing them by. It will help directly.
The Target in Richland has donated $250 worth of supplies to this event, and this is RPD's first Socktober, but they plan on making it an annual thing. Now, the weather is changing from summer to fall, as Josh has been telling us, and with these changes comes fall activities. One of those is Country Mercantile's Fall Harvest Festival. It's back for its 28th year. Now, this festival is a time for families and friends to get together and have some fun. So one of the managers, Santo Rodriguez, tells us this event is the one that all the employees look forward to. They've got a corn maze, a roller coaster,
kids come out, schools come out, they love it.
It's
always fun, you know. We try to do our best to keep, new things and try to be up to date with what's fun. And kids are just kids, and they ask for things too.
Something they're doing differently this year is focusing on their food, so that's another thing to look forward to. And the Country Mercantile is open every day. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, President Biden is heading to Germany today to meet with other world leaders. We have what discussions are on the table. That's coming up in your national headlines.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
Once, this table belonged to you. But when you decided to donate it to Goodwill, it transformed into their table, supporting before-school gatherings, cherished family dinners, and creative crafting sessions. Its impact stretches even beyond. Goodwill utilizes the proceeds from its sales to assist local individuals in overcoming employment hurdles, providing training and job placement services not only for individuals, but also for local businesses. And that's how one table can support the opportunity for everyone to create their own stories and memories. Goodwill, your Halloween headquarters.
Welcome to Chris's Recovery Shop.
Is your boat upholstery starting to look worn or has tears? From tops to seats to panels, we have you covered. Do you own a business and need repairs to seats or furniture? From agricultural to restaurant, we have you covered. Got a classic car that needs a little interior TLC? From seats to armrests and panels, we have you covered here too.
Chris's Recovery Shop in Yakima,
where we keep a good thing going.
As a Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress against Dan Newhouse, I knew I'd be attacked from multiple fronts. But some of the lies my opponents have been spreading are downright ridiculous. So let's settle the beef. I'm a cattle-raising, gun-carrying, brisket-loving conservative, and I believe in the American dream. I believe in lower taxes and that our farms and ranches make us prosperous and more secure. Eastern Washington deserves a representative that is honest and transparent. So vote for the conservative we deserve. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
Where are you headed?
Where am I headed? Am I just going to take what the market gives me? No, I can do some research.
You know, that's backed by JP Morgan's leading strategists, like us.
When you want to invest with more confidence, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
I was attacked. It's in the other room.
You managed to get a 400-pound Siberian tiger into a studio apartment.
911, all new tonight on ABC.
Washington U.S. Senate candidates debate. Watch today at noon on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, temperatures for this morning are chillier compared to yesterday morning. 39 in Ellensburg, 37 in Cle Elum. Probably need a heavy jacket there. And then in the Yakima Valley, we're seeing temperatures in the 30s and 40s. 43 for Toppenish, 37 in Yakima. For the Lower Columbia Basin, a little bit warmer here. 51 in the Tri-Cities, 46 for Umatilla, but 39 in Connell. And then for the foothills of the Blues, mostly 40s, 48 for Pendleton, 47 for both Milton, Freewater, and Walla Walla. And of course, it is colder up in the higher terrain of the Blues. Here's your day planner for today. By 8 this morning, we'll see some lingering showers possible in portions of the basin and for the foothills. By 12 p.m., you can see we'll be up into the 50s, starting to see more sunshine for the valleys and for the basin. Could have some more showers lingering in the foothills of the Blues and for other portions of the basin, not including the Tri-Cities. And then by 4 p.m., I think most of us should be dry. Plenty of sunshine out there. And it will be a cool day. It will be a few degrees below average for this time of the year. Winds will gust between 20 to 30 miles per hour, but those winds will be calming throughout the day. And then for tonight, calm winds, but look at these overnight lows. 29 for Sunnyside, 29 for Yakima, 33 for the Tri-Cities. We'll be in the mid-30s in the Blue Foothills. So pretty much all of us need to protect the 3 Ps, the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. Into tomorrow, we have another little chance of showers, and then there's another storm system that we're tracking for Sunday into Monday. I'll tell you what that one's all about coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Around the world now, President Joe Biden is heading to Germany today. It's a trip he postponed last week due to Hurricane Milton. Biden is expected to discuss support for Ukraine with European leaders. Officials say he's set to meet with the German, French, and British heads of state tomorrow. The trip comes a day after the White House unveiled another $425 million in military aid for Ukraine. But American support hangs in the balance as the U.S. election approaches. And the Ukrainian president's victory plan isn't necessarily getting the international support that he wanted. At the heart of it is Ukraine's desire to join NATO, but the alliance has yet to invite the country. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, an update in the Menendez brothers murder case, the two brothers who were sentenced to life in prison for the shooting deaths of their parents. A look at the new evidence that could lead to a review of their life sentences. That's coming up. But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast.
It's Carl's Jr.'s new Ghost Burger. There's the soul-scorching sauce, ghost pepper cheese, bacon. It's a spicy charbroiled phenomenon. Watch him make this one vanish. The new Ghost, only at Carl's Jr. Big Burger!
Get burger.
McCree's been around so long. A lot of people bought their cars here. Our customers are somebody that wants to be able to come back to us after they buy that car for whatever reason.
Which is one of the reasons we do take so much effort in making sure that they're going to be drivable for a long period of time.
So it's your daily journey. And so it's a lot more than just purchasing or something or a quick transaction. We're going to be here tomorrow to help you with whatever's on the car. Buying pre-owned with McCurley means your vehicle meets a higher standard.
Find your way home in a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle from McCurley Mazda.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Hermiston, Road 68 in Pasco, and at the new location on West Court Street in Pasco. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at all 6 locations. Get the lowest prices on the largest selection of vape mods, classic to tropical vape flavors, batteries, cigars, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. Don't waste time in other places. Go to Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember. But decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
Carl's Jr. Big Carl fans know nothing beats the taste of char-grilled beef, American cheese, and Carl's classic sauce. Except getting a second Big Carl for just $1. Buy one, get one for $1. Only at Carl's Jr. Big Burger!
Good burger. Fall colors. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, so we're seeing an area of showers that's moving into the Cascades, also a little area of showers in southern Morrow and Umatilla counties. Some of this blue on the map representing some of those snow levels all the way down to 4,000 feet. Here are the shower chances for today. We're going to keep it pretty dry for the valleys, but a decent chance, albeit less than a 50% chance of some showers for the basin, a much better chance in the foothills and in the mountains, and also there is that little chance of some thunderstorms for today. And here would be the time frame of that. For the Tri-Cities, I'm thinking we're probably going to be dry by 7 this morning. In Hermiston, that could last until the early afternoon, and maybe just a little bit longer than that in the foothills of the Blue Mountains. And then for tomorrow, we do have another much smaller chance, albeit, but a chance nonetheless of some more showers. 10% chances for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, but we'll probably keep it dry for the basin and for the foothills. And we're actually going to be dry for most of the day within the valleys. It's going to be after 5 p.m. in which we could maybe see some of those sprinkles out there. So if you tabulated all the rain in the forecast for today and tomorrow, we're thinking maybe an inch for the Cascades, 1/4 of an inch for the Blues, but less than 1/10 of an inch for the valleys and for the basin and for the foothills. And like I mentioned, snow levels hovering around 4,000 feet. So places like Stevens Pass, Blewett Pass could maybe get an inch or 2 of snow over the next couple of days, but that's about it. Snow levels are so low because high temperatures are so low, down into the low 60s in the Tri-Cities. We'll heat things up back into the 70s for Saturday and Sunday, but cooler again into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, back down into the 50s and 60s. And we are tracking another storm system into Sunday and Monday. That one's looking like it is also going to be wet for the mountains, specifically for the Cascades. Not much doing for the rest of us. This is a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Near freezing tonight, then warming up into the 70s again for Saturday and Sunday. Small shower chances come back into the picture on Sunday and Monday. Then for Yakima, small chances of wet weather through Monday, up and down highs for the next 7 days, and frigid tonight with lows in the upper 20s. For Ellensburg, little chances of wet weather through Monday, drier by Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs go from the 50s to the 60s and back down to the 50s over the next 7 days. For Hermiston, potentially frosty or freezing conditions tonight, feeling much warmer for this weekend. Small chances for showers come back around for Sunday and Monday. Then for Walla Walla, drying up for Friday, small shower chances for Saturday and Sunday, then looking much wetter by Monday.
In national news, new developments in the Menendez brothers murder case in Los Angeles. In 1996, the brothers were convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the shooting deaths of their parents. Their once widely publicized case has gained new interest due to a Netflix documentary series, and now the Los Angeles District Attorney has released new evidence that could potentially lead to a review of their life sentences. Sherelle Hubbard has more on this story.
Relatives of Lyle and Eric Menendez held a news conference in Los Angeles Wednesday with a Menendez defense attorney. The brothers are currently serving a life sentence for murdering their parents in 1989.
Like so many others, I struggled to process the events of that fateful August day and the loss that I felt. Over time, it became clear that there were 2 other victims there on that day.
The Menendez brothers claim they killed their parents in self-defense because their father physically and sexually abused them. Last year, lawyers for the brothers petitioned the court to review the case and to resentence the pair in light of new evidence. The LA district attorney referenced a letter Eric Menendez allegedly wrote to his cousin decades ago, alluding to the alleged sexual abuse.
In their case, if it were tried today, the evidence of their father's abuse would not only be admitted in court, it would provide essential context for why they acted as they did.
The family argues that the jury might have reached a different verdict if it had this evidence. After the Menendez brothers' first widely publicized trial ended in a mistrial, they were convicted of murdering their parents at a second trial. Potential sexual abuse was brought up, but prosecutors argued the abuse didn't happen. Attorneys for the brothers say they also have a signed statement by another alleged victim.
He too was assaulted by the father, and not only assaulted, but it happened at the house.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
The Los Angeles District Attorney says his office is reviewing the evidence. Not everyone is happy with that decision. The brother of Kitty Menendez, the mother who was murdered, accused the district attorney of betraying the victims. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, it's a sad day for the music industry as Liam Payne, a former member of the boy band One Direction, passed away. We have a look at what authorities are revealing about the 911 call. That's coming up in your entertainment news.
The leaves are falling, and so are the prices at Overturf Kia. Get sporty with a tech-savvy, fuel-efficient 2024 Kia Forte LX sedan with technology package starting at just $21,599. Plus, get 4.49% interest for up to 72 months. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Democrat candidate Maria Beltran led a liberal Seattle group that tried to defund police and allowed chaos and violence to take over the streets. Like Beltran, House candidates Anna Kennedy and Chelsea Demas oppose initiatives that would lower gas prices, end the capital income tax, and allow you to opt out of the expensive long-term care tax. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sussler, and I approve this message.
Our hometown. It's more than the regions we live in or the roads we drive on. It's a camaraderie, a belonging. It's working together to be a part of something bigger. All October long, bring a non-perishable food donation to McCurley dealerships or find a specially packed food donation bag at any local Yolks Fresh market. You are driving change in our community. That's what makes home, home.
From all of us at McCurley Subaru, thank you for helping us give back.
Washington U.S. Senate candidates debate. Watch today at noon on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back, everyone. It's a sad day for the music world. Singer Liam Payne, a former band member of One Direction, has died.
Police say that the singer fell from the third floor of a hotel in Buenos Aires yesterday. He was 31 years old.
One Direction was one of the most successful pop vocal groups of all time, with 4 sold-out world tours and 4 #1 albums.
Other band members of 1D include Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, Louis Tomlinson, and Niall Horan. All of them, including Payne, went on to pursue solo music careers after the group announced they were taking a hiatus in 2015.
They first formed in 2010 after each member appeared on the UK version of the show The X Factor. Now, the investigation into his death is ongoing, but here's what we know so far. According to state media, staff at the hotel had called 911 to request urgent help shortly before Payne's fall.
You can see on your screen footage obtained of the hotel room that Payne was staying in. Reports say the hotel manager was heard on the call saying there was a guest, quote, tearing the whole room apart.
The manager also reportedly described the guest as being, quote, overwhelmed with drugs and alcohol. Authorities will be conducting an autopsy.
And although it's been several years since the band's breakup, their fans have stayed loyal as ever. The video on your screen now shows fans mourning, gathered outside of the hotel where Payne died.
And Payne was staying at the Hotel Casa Sur in Palermo, Buenos Aires. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, Sela High School is one of 8 schools getting recognition for its collaboration between the school and its students. A look at how they're making a difference is coming up in the next half hour. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the federal government making it easier to cancel subscriptions to anything from gym memberships to streaming services. The click-to-cancel rule will require businesses to provide a simple way for you to end subscriptions, making it just as easy to cancel as it was to join. That includes obtaining your consent before charging you for auto renewals. Google Flights just launched a new Cheapest tab to help you find the lowest price flights faster. The tab highlights budget options, even if they include long layovers or self-transfers. It's available now for U.S. flights and will be rolling out globally soon. And finally, Amazon has unveiled its first color Kindle. Amazon introduced the Kindle in 2007, and every device since has had a black and white screen. The ColorSoft Signature Edition is available for pre-order now for $279. I could use a Kindle since I'm running out of space for books. I have no one else to blame but my shelf. Those are your Tech Bites.
Look now at dreamsresorts.com with savings of up to 40%.
Every year, millions of noses are ghosted by their plugins. New Airwick Advanced, our groundbreaking plugin that pulses scent for staying power up to 60 days, plus a fragrance boost button. Our noses won't be ignored again.
At Bombas, we make absurdly comfortable socks, slippers.
Follow any of the sports stuff, so I know very little.
Okay, I have more to say about
feel like clouds. No bunnies. Visit bombas.com and get 20% off your first order.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, it is getting colder, isn't it?
Yes, it is getting colder. We have a freeze watch that's in place for tonight. And we are, it's just that time of the year.
I know.
It's that time of the year, I fear.
Blanket time of the year, space heaters, all that fun stuff that I love.
Ugg boots that I don't own?
Oh,
absolutely.
All right,
let's take a live look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. All the city lights down below. And this is an area where we do have a freeze watch that's in place for tonight. Wind gusts right now are gusting between 15 to 20 miles per hour in the basin, also for the foothills at times, but it looks like in other areas they've calmed down for now. We'll continue to have wind gusts throughout the day, although the overall trend is that they're going to be calming throughout the day. Current temperatures are in the 30s for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We are in this bubble of warmer temperatures in the Tri-Cities, 51 there, 52 in Hermiston, a little bit cooler in the foothills, where we're seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. So for today, it's going to be a cool day. We'll be a few degrees below average for this time of the year. Also, we'll have some leftover showers, in particular for the basin and for the foothills. And for tonight, we have a freeze watch in place for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, also for the foothills of the Blue Mountains in Umatilla County. That runs from 11 p.m. tonight to 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I will show you just how cold we're expecting to be for tonight coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now we start off your 5:30 in Yakima County. The Sela High School is getting statewide recognition for its collaboration between the school and its students. Now the school received the Washington Schools on the Rise Award. Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell spoke to educators who say they're all about helping students choose their own path.
Sela, one of 8 high schools in the state, recognized with the Washington Schools on the Rise Award. Principal Colton Monty says the award given to schools where collaboration between adults and students is making a difference.
We want our kids to be partners with us and develop an educational experience that is personalized for them and also leads to endless opportunities for them.
Behavior interventionist Courtney Schrader says a student's voice and choice starts at the beginning of the year with one-on-one registration.
Our counselors meet with every single one of their students. And they go through, okay, what are you interested in? These are the classes you've taken. These are all of our pathways.
Pathways include health science, engineering and manufacturing, early childhood education, business and communication, computer science, agriculture, and art and design.
Instead of just picking a 9th grade science class, they have the option of doing like 3 different classes, like your standard science class, but then, or they can do intro to agriculture, or they can do medical science foundation.
Giving them real-world experience they can take with them.
By the time they graduate, they can have their parapro certification. So they can graduate, get that, and with that certification, go straight into working in a school that next year, which is pretty amazing.
They say kids are more engaged when they get to pick classes that interest them, and it gives them a leg up after graduation.
We're trying to give our kids a competitive advantage so that if they don't go to college, and even if they do go to college, that they have skills that they're leaving with that are going to help them to be job ready.
Part of that includes a grad launch class with presentations, resumes, and mock interviews.
The teachers are there to really make those connections between, okay, this is where you're at with a senior, this is where you're going to be next year. We have an internship coordinator now, and so he's making those connections too, especially for those students that aren't going into the college direction.
She says implementing trimesters to accommodate more class choices difficult on the administrative end, but it's worth it to help the students.
I think they feel respected and they feel heard, and they also feel like they have a little bit of autonomy with their schedule. Like they pick their path.
A path that leads them toward their future. In Sela, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Sela High School officials say they expand the number of classes and pathways that they offer every year. Now, in more education-related news, if you've ever felt like school didn't teach you what you actually need to know in life, you're not alone. The Pasco School District is changing the way they educate. They're helping students establish a set of key life skills, ones you typically can't find in a textbook. These are things like critical thinking, adaptability, and curiosity. PSD is calling this project its Portrait of a Graduate. They want every Pasco student to have this knowledge by the time they graduate. The team for this project has representatives from the community, like parents, educators, business leaders, and most importantly, students.
Oftentimes in education, adults design what we think is best for kids, and then say, here you go. We wanted to really flip that because our students' future is unknown to us. And we want to make sure that they're prepared for the future that we don't know, but future that they're going to live in. So with their voice, we want to really amplify their voice. So we have a huge student engagement.
The Assistant Superintendent for School and Social Emotional Learning with PSD says they hope Portrait of a Graduate will be like a North Star when it comes to values in the district. The first meeting has already happened, but there are 3 more happening over the next couple of months. In business news, some analysts are scratching their heads as to why the McDonald's French fry demand continues to drop. Lamb Weston supplies the frozen fries to McDonald's, and it amounts to about 14% of its sales. The closure of the Lamb Weston plant in Connell was made partially due to a drop in fry demand and slower restaurant traffic, and that's according to officials. However, some analysts are saying the long-term demand for fries should stay the same, since it's one of the most popular and profitable items at restaurants like McDonald's. Now to a small business in Richland. A beloved ice cream shop and gem store has been closed for the past month. This after the owner suffered the loss of his wife. The community rallied, giving their support, and now the Amethyst Creamery is open once again. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma got the chance to talk with the owner, Doug Tallman, about how he was able to open back up.
Amethyst Creamery has been closed for about a month. It wasn't until recently that the business owner decided that it was time to open shop back up to the community that it's been a part of for about 5 years. As he walks in for the first time in a while into his business, Doug Tallman unpacks store items as he prepares for a bittersweet return this week.
My wife had a serious stroke, and she ended up passing away about 2.5 weeks ago. And so I've been, just trying to deal with that one day at a time.
Tallman says although it feels good to be open again, it's not an easy transition for him. But being able to add a touch of sweetness in people's lives helps.
Opening and hoping that maybe this will help me get through it, and seeing all my customers again will make, put a smile back on my face. And I think that's pretty important. And hopefully, they'll come in and see us, and everything will be hopefully back to some sort of normalcy for me.
I asked Tallman what his favorite memory has been since being in business, and he didn't have to think twice about his response.
Oh, that's easy. That's the kids. I love seeing them come in and get excited over, the rocks and gems and having that ice cream. And I love telling them jokes and stuff, the dad jokes. And they seem to have a pretty good time with it, and so do I.
But Tallman says for him, it's about helping other families make their favorite memories.
They get a little bag of rocks and they get to pick through the barrel and find the neatest ones, and they just think that is so cool, and they're appreciative to mom and dad for bringing them and showing them a new experience, and that's really what it's all about is, family time, and that's what I'm here for.
As for the future for Amethyst Creamery, Tallman says he's not looking to move out of the Richland community anytime soon, and that he's now back to his regular store hours. Reporting in Richland, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we meet a man from Findlay that's using his passion and skills to work for the Seattle Mariners.
Apple Valley News
Now. Is coming up in just a few
First
minutes.
Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. Washington U.S. Senate candidates debate. Watch today at noon on Apple Valley News Now.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest savings book, including Bi-Mart brand laundry detergent, 254 ounces, hot priced at $14.99. Bi-Mart, saving our members more every day.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic. Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else. Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam.
Ugh, and I'm already late.
Hi, I'm David Smith.
And I'm Tori Smith, local owners of Mattress Depot USA.
We both grew up in the Seattle area.
But unlike our large competitors, we still live in this community.
We do business with local manufacturers from right here in the Pacific Northwest.
Hey, we realize that your top priority is to get a quality mattress at the best possible price. And that's what we do.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
D-Lynn's Boutique is a lifestyle boutique that offers locally sourced and established brand items. We feature men's and women's styles with a fresh approach to your look. D-Lynn's Boutique brings style that is approachable yet unique, so you can look and feel your best no matter what room you are walking into. Our house brand, Life on the Water, is locally inspired, designed, and printed in Kennewick, Washington. D-Lynn's is located in the Marineland Plaza in Kennewick, next to the Village Bistro. You can also shop easily online at dlyns.com.
Here in Washington, we love the word and, like socks and sandals, flannels and beanies, wheat fields and mountains. And now with FundHub WA, saving money and helping the climate. Find grants to bring resources and funds to your community. Get incentives to grow your business and transition to clean energy. And discover rebates that will save you money at home and on the go and reduce emissions. Find funding opportunities today at fundhub.wa.gov.
The Y Card, a powerful resource for former Hanford and DOE employees. If you worked in the area and have come down with cancer, lung disease, Parkinson's, or renal failure, you may be eligible for financial compensation and healthcare services. A simple phone call can get the process started. Atomic Home Health. Don't wait. Call today.
The hurricanes, the unimaginable destruction. Now this morning, GMA Florida Strong, coming together, helping one another. This morning, watch Good Morning America to see how you can help bring some sunshine back to the Sunshine State.
Been sailing on these seas for the better part of my life. It's dangerous.
Her appendix is about to rupture. We need to do emergency surgery.
Ready for impact.
Dr. Odyssey, tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, today we'll have showers up in the Cascades. Should be pretty dry in the Kittitas Valley. It's going to be a cool day, only up to 56 in Ellensburg. Will be breezy. Winds gusting out of the western northwest upwards of 30 miles per hour. Only gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour in the Yakima Valley. Should also be pretty dry here, at least in the upper valley. Could have a few showers in the lower valley. Temperatures will be right around 60 degrees for today. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, I'm thinking showers probably last until about 7 this morning in the Tri-Cities if we have any showers at all. The potential for that would be a little bit longer in Hermiston. I'm thinking around 1 p.m. is when we'll see the cutoff for those small shower chances. There's a much better chance for some showers in the foothills, upwards of an 80% chance of that. Although we're not expecting heavy rainfall for today. Also, highs are going to end up being in the 50s, and winds will also be blustery here, gusting upwards of 30 miles per hour. So just kind of a cool and damp day, but I'm thinking that for some of us, especially in the basin and in the valleys, we should see some sunshine into the afternoon. Okay, for tonight, overnight lows go way down, 29 for Yakima, 33 in the Tri-Cities, 32 for Ellensburg, 34 for Hermiston. So I'm thinking specifically in the basin and in the valleys, you would probably need to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. And in terms of if this is normal or not, well, our first freeze in the Tri-Cities on average is on October 14th. And I lose track of days, but I'm pretty sure it's the 17th of October, so we would be right about on schedule in regards to that. I'll show you the shower chances for today again. I'll show you some more shower chances as we head into this weekend. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, this next story is pretty inspiring. We meet a man from Findlay who's been working in the field of Major League Baseball. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen introduces us to the man that went from the orchards of Findlay to the Seattle Mariners front office.
Freddie Llanos and his family moved around for his parents' job before making the Findlay area home. Llanos and his family worked in the orchards of eastern Washington picking apples. Llanos graduated from Riverview High School and attended Washington State University for mechanical engineering before realizing he wanted to get into journalism. After a few jobs in the media industry, he moved back home to Findlay and started applying for jobs, one with the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners spotted one of the greatest skills a person can have, speaking more than one language.
One of the bullet points above the job description was, we may need you to translate. And I was like, oh, cool, I can do that. You know, I've been doing Spanish and English stories or Spanish at home. So just apply to it and then thought nothing of it. A few weeks later, I get a call. I had completely forgotten that I even applied for the job. And I was like, yeah, I definitely want to do it.
Janos tells me his background and upbringing helped him get the job with the M's and establish himself as a trustworthy individual. When he showed up on his first day, the team welcomed him with much enthusiasm. Former Mariner Gino Suarez was so happy to have a translator, he started parading Janos around the locker room, introducing him to the players. Janos says he's translated for a number of players, including Luis Castillo and Randy Arozarena.
It came at a time where some of our best players are all Spanish speaking. So, that's where my role kind of evolved into.
Janos says he didn't go with the team on road trips at first, but says now, with his skill set, he's on every road trip. He says creating a trusting relationship with those players takes time. As a former media member, Janos says those players lean on him for help with interviews, which also turned into friendships with the team.
I think we're at the point where we're all friends. I mean, even now off season, I'm constantly texting the guys. Hey, did you make it home okay? Or you told me this, or whatever it is. But it definitely took some time, and it helped that I was just around them so much.
Janos says Major League Baseball requires at least one translator on the team. Janos is one for the Spanish-speaking players and tells me his main job is to make sure those players are comfortable, and most of the Spanish-speaking players on the team have come to the United States and can only speak Spanish. Janos has helped players feel comfortable and, most importantly, part of the conversation.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, are you tired of not being able to easily cancel your subscriptions? Well, the federal government is just made a way to do so easier. Details are coming up in your morning sprint. But first, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your full weather forecast.
Head to Queensgate Gardens in Richland for some fall family fun. Explore our corn and hay bale maze, zoom down the dump truck slide, try pumpkin archery, and get creative with pumpkin painting. New this year is laser tag and a U-Pick flower field. Make fall memories at Queensgate Garden in Richland.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people, who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
Give snow the boot with the new Husqvarna snowblower from Liberty Lawn and Saw. Built for reliable performance year after year, Husqvarna snowblowers are easy to use on those cold winter days. Work smarter, not harder, with features like electric start and remote shoot rotator. Plus, Husqvarna snowblowers offer a 5-year warranty, 5 on the engine and 5 years guaranteed to start. So blow winter away this year. See the complete line of Husqvarna snowblowers at Liberty Lawn and Saw in West Richland.
If you've been considering updating your kitchen or bath countertops, be sure to attend the Costless Carpet Annual Slab Sale. This Saturday, Costless Carpet designers and fabricators will be on site. Every in-stock slab is on sale, with select slabs marked down up to 50%. Choose from a huge selection of quartz, marble, and granite slabs. Fabricators will only be on site this Saturday from 9 to 5, so write in your plans and drawings for instant savings. Find your nearest Costless Carpet at costlesscarpet.com.
Head to Queensgate Gardens in Richland for some fall family fun. Explore our corn and hay bale maze, zoom down the dump truck slide, try pumpkin archery, and get creative with pumpkin painting. New this year is laser tag and a U-Pick flower field. Make fall memories at Queensgate Garden in Richland.
Washington U.S. Senate candidates debate. Watch at noon today. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, we're tracking some showers that are entering the Cascades right now, snow showers above 4,000 feet, and there are also some showers that are starting to fill in the map in the Blue Mountains in Umatilla and Morrow counties. So here are the shower chances for the rest of today. We'll keep it pretty dry in the valleys. We'll have about a 50-50 shot of seeing some wet weather in the basin, maybe even a little bit of instability to kickstart some thunderstorms in the Hermiston area, and the same thing in the foothills of the Blues, where there's a much better chance of seeing some wet weather for today. For the Tri-Cities, I'm thinking will probably be dry for most of today, but deeper into the basin, maybe some of these shower chances could last until early in the afternoon, and maybe a little bit deeper into the afternoon for the foothills of the Blues. And then into tomorrow, we'll have some more shower chances, albeit much lower shower chances, 10% for the valleys, dry for the basin and for the foothills. And of course, we'll have some wet weather up in the mountains. But even in the valleys, we'll be mostly dry during the daytime. The best chance of showers is going to be after 5 p.m. So if you tabulated all the rainfall we're expecting for both today and tomorrow, maybe another inch for the Cascades, a quarter of an inch for the Blues, but less than a tenth of an inch for the foothills, for the basin, and for the valleys. And again, like I mentioned, snow levels right around 4,000 feet. They're going to stay pretty consistently at that level over the next couple of days. And I'll show you coming up in the 6 o'clock hour some of the snow that's already on the ground in Yakima County. Snow levels so low for this time of the year because high temperatures are so low, but we'll be back up into the 70s, feeling much more spring-like. It's obviously way too early to be talking about spring, but back up into the 70s for Saturday and Sunday, the more fall-like stuff for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Speaking of this weekend, specifically for Sunday and Monday, that is our next storm system that we're keeping our eyeballs on, as maybe the Cascades could get another inch of water, maybe a quarter of an inch for the foothills and for the Blues, but less than a tenth for the valleys and for the basin. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Near freezing for tonight, then warming up into the 70s again for Saturday and Sunday. Small shower chances come back into the picture on Sunday and Monday. Then for Yakima, small chances of wet weather through Monday, up and down highs for the next 7 days, and frigid tonight with lows in the upper 20s. Then in Ellensburg, little chances of wet weather through Monday, drier by Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs go from the 50s to the 60s, then back down to the 50s over the next 7 days. For Hermiston, potentially frosty or freezing conditions tonight, feeling much warmer for this weekend, and small chances for showers come back around for Sunday and Monday. Then in Walla Walla, drying out for Friday, small shower chances for Saturday and Sunday, then looking much wetter by Monday. Highs up into the 70s this weekend, then back to the 50s by Monday.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:51. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour. Starting off, here are the top 5 local stories you need to know this morning. Aerial search crews have located the wreckage of the Navy jet that crashed near Mount Rainier on Tuesday. However, it's not accessible by vehicle. Multiple search and rescue teams are trying to get to the crash site to continue to find the missing 2 crew members. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. The Washington State Department of Agriculture says an outbreak of bird flu was found in commercial poultry operations in Franklin County. It's within a 6-mile radius around Oakdale Farms on North Glade Road in Pasco. Officials say the virus is highly contagious and spreads quickly in poultry. The virus causes severe illness or death to infected birds. And some analysts are scratching their heads as McDonald's fry demand continues to dip. Lamb Weston supplies frozen fries to McDonald's, amounting to about 14% of its sales. Now, the closure of the Connell plant was made partially due to what officials say was a drop in fry demand and slower restaurant traffic. However, some analysts say that long-term demand for fries should stay the same since it's one of the most popular and profitable items at restaurants. Amazon and Energy Northwest is working together to develop and deploy small modular reactor technology to bring reliable energy across the Northwest. The company says small modular reactors offer solutions to the need for reliable, carbon-free, and sustainable energy. The project is set to be sited near Energy Northwest Columbia Generating Station in Richland. And it's the 80th anniversary of the B Reactor National Historic Landmark, part of the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. Designated a National Historic Landmark in 2008, the reactor played a pivotal role in world history, marking the beginning of the atomic age. October is the last month to get on a B Reactor tour before the site is closed for construction for the next few years. And the B Reactor was the first full-scale plutonium production reactor. Now to your national headlines this morning. Family members of Kyle and Eric Menendez are calling for the pair's release after more than 30 years in prison. The Menendez brothers are serving life sentences for the 1996 fatal shooting of their parents in their Beverly Hills home. 24 relatives have formed a coalition urging authorities to review the case. They say new evidence shows the brothers were the victims of abuse at the hands of their father and deserve a more lenient sentence. In 2023, the legal team representing the brothers filed a petition for resentencing based on that evidence. The Supreme Court is allowing the EPA to temporarily enforce regulations on power plants over their emissions. The court denied emergency requests filed by more than 20 Republican state attorneys general and industry groups who had asked for rules to be temporarily halted while legal challenges played out. Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch wrote the states and groups are likely to succeed. But they wrote that since the EPA rules don't require any action until next year, there is no need to rule now. In your business news now, Coca-Cola has recalled more than 13,000 cases of Minute Maid zero sugar lemonade over mislabeled cartons. The FDA says these cases are actually of the full sugar version. Now, the recall started in early September, and Coca-Cola says the mislabeled ones are no longer on shelves. In your health headlines, the federal government just made it easier to cancel your gym membership. The FTC unveiled its click-to-cancel rule, so it requires businesses to provide a way for people to cancel their subscriptions in a way that's just as easy as it is to sign up. So that includes everything from gym memberships to digital streaming and cable TV service. The new rule goes into effect 180 days after it's published in the Federal Register. The rule is meant to address common issues like when sellers misrepresent facts about the product or when people are billed when they didn't agree to pay. In your sports headlines, tennis star Serena Williams is recovering after having a large cyst removed from her neck. She posted to TikTok that the cyst was the size of a grapefruit. Williams says she first noticed a big mass on her neck back in May. After a number of tests, she learned it wasn't cancerous and was given the option to have it removed. Also, take a look at this great catch. This is Tyrone Taylor, outfielder for the New York Mets, earning his pay and saving a run. The ball hit deep by LA Dodgers second baseman Tommy Edman. Taylor not only slides to catch the ball, he avoids a crash with teammate Starling Marte. Now, that is quite the catch, but the Mets ended up losing to the Dodgers 0-8. All right, check this out. It's not the devil that's wearing Prada. It's actually the astronaut.
Well, luxury fashion house Prada has helped design a new spacesuit for NASA's Artemis 3 mission to the moon.
And take a look at it. It's on your screen now. So Prada and a commercial space company called Axiom Space unveiled these designs yesterday. And the mostly white suit features a cropped torso and stone gray patches across the elbows and knees.
It also has specially engineered boots that will allow astronauts to spacewalk for at least 8 hours a day.
I'm going to need some of those. So these suits will be made of a white material which reflects heat, so it'll protect the astronauts from extremely high temperatures as well as lunar dust.
Prada's in-depth knowledge of textile production and sewing techniques helped bridge the gap between functionality and style. And about 10 Prada employees worked on the spacesuit, and they traveled between Milan, Italy, and Axiom's base in Houston.
The Artemis 3 mission is currently scheduled for launch in the second half of 2026. That is pretty exciting. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, search crews have located the wreckage site of the Navy jet that crashed in Yakima County. And they're still looking for the crew members, so we hear from a retired Navy commander on how things could be looking. That's coming up in our 6 o'clock hour.
And I'll show you some of those much colder temperatures for this morning, also where there are some rain and even some snow showers. Not for us in the valleys of the basin, but up in the mountains. That's going to be coming up at 6.